Greetings and salutations tonight, folks. Dave Woodson, drinking agents here in Valparaiso, Indiana. One of the admins of rural stations that really work. And I'm waiting on tonight's guest, which is not a first for me, but definitely not a second, or it's probably a second or a third for me as well. So let's make sure we're live in the group before we get going too fast, too forward, too fast. Let's make sure we're live in the group. We are live in the group as we happen. So watching tonight's race, kind of a God darn it, I hit the wrong button. I hate when I do that. So watching tonight's race, my favorite racer is in critical condition probably at this point, but neither here nor there. So I might cut this short if something comes across the news that he's not doing well. Yes, I'm one of those guys. I like sports. He's a boiler from South Bend, which is about 30 miles away from here. But anyway, let's talk door knocking. Door knocking. Who door knocks here? I don't door knock. I've door knocked once my entire life. Didn't get anything out of it, which I know is not how you do it. You repeat. You rinse, lather, repeat when you door knock. This year's election year this year, so your door knocking is about to get turned upside down because people are going to not answer the door because I think elected officials are knocking at their door. Anything you mail out is going to get ignored because I think it's the political mailers. And tonight's wine is a Domaine Bouquet. It's a Malbec, obviously. It's from Costco. I'm not gonna drink the whole bottle tonight. That's the plan. That's the plan. I'm not drinking the whole bottle, but it never works out. So who door knocks here? I know you do. I'm a little tonight. I just am. Until I know what's going on with Newman, I'm not gonna sleep well tonight. Believe it or not. I'm one of those guys. It's like when Walter Payton died. I cried when Walter Payton died. I will admit that because he was one of my heroes, my childhood. Goodbye.
I was doing that for like 5 minutes.
Hi. I cried when Walter Payton died because he was one of my heroes. He was one of my favorite all-time players, and now I'm just down. Anyway, neither here nor there. I'm losing the as fashion. I can keep you. So. I'm waiting for Festini to join us here. I've sent him the link. I've got nothing prepared other than talk to him. If he doesn't show up, then I don't know what to do at this point. He's got the link, so now we're waiting on him to show up here. We'll figure it out. So I've door knocked once my entire life. Didn't I can say got nothing out of it, but I didn't do it right because I didn't rinse, lather, repeat. Paul Perone, you door knock. How's it working out for you? You got like 10 buyer's agents though, don't you? You probably make them all door knock. I'm gonna door knock certain neighborhoods this summer because right now it was raining today, so I couldn't do it today because it rained. Festini does it. You got 362 days of sunshine where he's from. So they door knock all the time. And I think, and really, we have bad weather here 6 months out of the year. So like yesterday it was 30 degrees. Today it was like 40 degrees out, but it rained. So I think good weather makes it more possible. But bad weather, I was close. I was guessing, believe it or not, but I was close. But bad weather makes you more memorable. I would imagine, wouldn't you think? If you're out door knocking in bad weather, people he must be hungry. Let's give him some business. Oh, that's good wine. And that tastes like I'm not going to work tomorrow, Valerie. Nah, I'm kidding. Oh, golly, that's good stuff right there, Bubba. Oh, let's see what's going on here. My hold on, folks. We're having some technical issues. My bad. Just give us a second. Could be a B Live thing. God, I'm tremoring tonight like a. Anyway. Hey Angie, what's going on? Waiting on our guests to show up. It's all. Good evening, Shannon. I don't see him popping up. I'm sorry, folks. Give me 1 second. Having some technical issues. My bad. Should I rain this out? Not much, Shannon. Angie's just having some technical issues because Dave screwed up as always. I've had Comcast issues the last 2 days. I've had computer issues the last 2 days. It's just one big mess after another. So it's just fun being a Dave this week. Here we go. James, can you hear me? There we go. Oops. Here we go. All right, now we're going. I don't see it, but can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine, but I just can't see you.
Yes. Okay. My camera is enabled. You like find the weirdest software to run this stuff on. Okay, let me see. Let me see.
I can hear you just fine, so that's fine as well. Were you out door knocking?
Yeah. Well, it just got dark, but let me make sure, man. I got my high-end camera and stuff here. This software kept saying refresh to allow my camera, and it should be allowing it. That's the weird thing.
Do you have your screen protector on your
No, that's not the camera I want. That's the one I want. I know you saw me there for a second.
There you go.
There we go.
You're not on the bus tonight.
All right, what's happening, man? Can you hear
me? You're on the magic bus tonight.
No, I'm not in the magic bus, man. So what's happening, man? I'm sorry. The first time you had me on was with Blue Jean, and I think you're the only one who uses Blue Jean. I've never heard of this thing. Be Live. How come you don't use Zoom?
Zoom costs money.
No, I use Zoom for everything. You as long as you open up a private room, it's unlimited. If you do a group room, it's like 40 minutes. But yeah, man, I don't pay for Zoom, and I use it for everything.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot soon. I pay $100 a year for this.
Oh yeah, no, free's better.
Yeah, free is much better.
So I know it's wine with Woodson, and I asked my wife, I go, do we have any wine? And she goes, yeah, we do have wine. So I brought my special glass. It says wisdom on it. Got a little quote
Cool.
here. There is a wisdom on the head, and there is a wisdom of the head and a wisdom of the heart by Charles Dickens. It's a very fancy wine glass. Are you drinking wine? This is wine, right?
I
Wine
certainly am.
Okay. So what are you
More
drinking there?
glass without you.
What are you
I was
drinking
thinking
there?
you were standing me up.
No, dude, I wouldn't do that. I'm bringing out my favorite vintage, which is the Franzia Chillable Red. And it's up at the bottom of the bag here, so I'm gonna squeeze out the last like drops. It's
you're
funny.
you're not the first person to have box wine on the show, so don't worry about it.
About 4 or 5 years ago, I texted Gary Vaynerchuk or tweeted to him, and knowing that he was a wine guy, and this was before he became super, super popular, probably about 5 or 6 years ago, I tweeted at him and I said, "Hey man, on a scale of 1 to 10, Franzia Chillable Red." He said 0. I'm like, you don't know crap about wine, Gary V. you might sniff it, but man, this tastes like this is gold right here, man. You give me, I've had really good wine, and this stuff's good. Chillable Red.
It's not bad if you want to get drunk.
Well, yeah. I mean, what else would you drink it for? My wife takes me to those wine testing things, and I just shoot them. I'm insulting to the wine. I do not respect the wine. It's just for one goal. It's not for sipping.
I'm the tequila and vodka drinker myself as well.
Oh, that's very dangerous, my friend.
But I drink Miller Lite.
I'm Michelob Ultra, which is really good. Go down good.
Oh.
So what's up, my friend? How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I just having an okay day today, but I wish business was better. I just read an article today that there's fewer homes on the market today than in 2013, since 2013.
I believe it. I picked up 2 listings from door knocking this week, and they're blowing up, and everyone's crying because I'm really getting the clients to sign the contract, but they're not ready to put it on the market. And so now I'm in a position where I have to stop the agents from coming because we're still painting or fixing stuff up, contingencies. But I've been doing this since 1993, almost 28 years. And it's tough, man. The struggle is real. That's what we're here about today.
I just graduated college in '93.
Oh yeah.
I should have went real estate then as myself, but almost glad I didn't.
Yeah. It is what it is. So no regrets, right?
None so far.
What'd you do in college?
I wanted to be the next Steve Dahl, which you have no clue that was, but I wanted to be a DJ.
A DJ?
Wanted to do talk radio.
You
My voice used to be better before Parkinson's. If you like Howard Stern, you should think Steve Dahl. That's all I want to be the next Steve Dahl.
I like, you know who was good? It was Ricky Rackman. Do you remember him?
I do not.
Yeah, he was a Southern California DJ. Real cool dude, Ricky Rackman. He actually started Headbangers Ball back in the 90s. Remember Headbangers
I do remember
Ball?
that.
He was the host of Headbangers Ball in the early days.
I do remember that show.
Yep. And the other one I liked was Tom Likas.
Likas used to be on the air here in Chicago. I remember Likas.
Yeah, you either loved him or hated him.
I would listen to him, and I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Because I knew the voices he was doing was him.
So how do I share this? I tried to share it earlier on the thing. So you have, hold on, let me ask you. You have a group that's called Real Estate Agents That Really Work, Play Bigger. That's not associated with Jason Morris's Real Estate Agents That Work Really Hard?
Yeah, it's the same one.
Oh, so you're broadcasting this live in that group?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah.
I left the other group.
Okay.
I left the other group over a disagreement, which I was correct. And Jason invited me to do this show on his channel.
Jason's a really good guy. He's one of the good ones, for sure.
I agree.
Yeah.
But let's talk about door knocking real quick, because I don't do enough of it, obviously.
No, nobody does. So yeah, today we are talking. I don't. Does this be live? So let me share. I want to make sure this is shared. And so when you're in the real estate agents, how do you know how many people are in the group? I'd like to be able to see the question.
Well, I see. I have dual screen up, so I can see. I'm on the other screen. I have 11 people watching right now.
Okay. So then you
And
can say hi.
I already asked a question.
Let's know rehash. What's that mean?
I talked about some stuff earlier. About me leaving the group.
Oh, no rehashing the group. So it's a little time delay on their answers.
Yeah,
All right. All
she's
right. I
my
want to make
broker.
sure I
She
say
doesn't want to hear it
something.
again.
All right. Well, then your broker is going to love hearing this conversation. So, as some of you guys know, I'm big on door knocking. Like, I started in 1993. I worked under my parents for about 6 months, and I left them. They raised me right, honorable, integrity, hardworking. But when it came to the real estate business, they weren't really the traditional agents in the sense that they used sphere of influence, past clients. Well, sphere of influence was kind of there, but they didn't really do like the marketing right. Even though we had top producer on DOS, they didn't. Yeah, I was on DOS, my first version of DOS. What we had was they never really said, Jimmy, when you get a listing and a sale, here's what you do: follow up with them and keep in touch. So it's kind of weird because I would have people who would say, "Oh man, because my parents were pretty big out here in the '80s, and people would say, "Oh man, you must have got into the business with a lot of a database." I'm like, "No, I don't think they kept one." And to this day, every like 6 months or so, when I'm door knocking, I will hear someone say something to the effect like, "Was your mom and dad in the business?" I'm like, "Yeah." But see, I left when I joined them in '93. I was with them for, like I said, about 6 months, and I always came in under um, cold calling. I was strictly telemarketing from 1993 to 2007, 8, 9 was just picking up the phones and dialing. So it started off with just before the do not call list. The do not call list came out in 2003. So you didn't have to worry about that. There's going to be factors that I'm going to bring up here during the dynamic door knocking conversation that kind of lead you to the question the answer to why door knocking now more than ever. And that is, in 1993, it was the Wild West. You can call people. There was no do not call list. People would say, "Don't call me again." That was it. But you got to remember, there was no caller ID. Like in 1993, you picked up your phone because it rang, right? You had an answer machine with a cassette, and that was it. You did not know who was calling, so you picked it up, right? There was this thing called star 69. You remember that? Where like if someone called you and you didn't connect, you pick up the phone and press star 69, and you were back
Right.
on the line with them. Now they call
It
it callback.
costs 50 cents to do it.
Yeah, that was the expensive days. So in 1993 to 2003, right around 1998, 99, I was already on my own. I was with my parents for 6 months, and I just broke off on my own, got married, long story. But I started learning technology immediately. I embraced like DOS and Windows 95, 93, 95, 97, and implemented a lot of technology to telemarket. Then 2003, the bomb hit, the do not call list. By 1998, 99, we all started having caller ID, but you had to have like this device that you plug into your phone, and then there was a separate box that you plug into your phone.
Right.
And then you could see who was there, but 9 out of 10 times, it really wasn't there, right? It was a number, but you didn't know who it was. Still just a number, right? And telemarketers and technology wasn't as predominant as it became because the software and the technology just wasn't accessible to the average consumer unless you were like a propeller head or a tech wizard, not well, kind of like myself, where I implemented uh, telemarketing units to increase my speed. So 2003 comes in, do not call list comes in. So now we know that the average consumer is terribly upset with getting telemarketing calls. 2003, 4, 5, 6, 7, my best years ever in real estate. I'm implementing what I call an 8-line dialer on 2 answering machines, 4 computers spread out. I mean, just hammering, making $500,000 in real estate. Bam, bam, bam. But this is everyone. This is like what they talk about in the 80s with that whole cocaine and disco bust, right?
Boiler room.
What's that?
Boiler room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it was just me. I've always just been myself, just me, telemarketing. My wife came on with me in 2000 as an assistant, handling the transactions as a TC, but was never the front. I still always had to go out and get it. And 2003, the do not call list hits, and when it hit, it eliminated what we'll talk in thousands for this example in this podcast. We have about 1,000 people who would be on a phone list. Well, let's go back. We have a neighborhood of 1,000 houses, In 1993, you could reference different sources like Haynes Crisscross Directory and other resources,
Right.
and you might be lucky to get 6 out of 10 houses you'd get their phone number. So you're still missing about 40-50% of the houses that were there. When the do not call list came in, now we're talking about killing another 50 to 70% when it hit. So now from 1,000 houses, now you're maybe only getting 100, maybe 150, 200 phone numbers, depending on how many people registered. So you're already missing 70% of what was out there. But now we're going to 2003, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the Armageddon, the beginning of the end for telemarketing. The first thing that came into place for real estate agents in particular was the smartphone, the invention of the smartphone, access to the technology for the consumer to find out values through things like Zillow, online research. Another thing was caller ID. We never in our lives had caller ID in our hand on our phones. It was always a machine somewhere else. Now it was here. You can look and you can see that. And the market crash. So it made the consumers really reluctant to make any decisions from the shock waves and the aftershock and the aftermath of 2000 to 2013. Now we have a consumer who has been hammered by technology and telemarketing, who is reluctant to do anything big decisions with regarding to real estate. And now they have the ability to get the information that used to be our holy grail. They gave it away, the comps in America, especially in the US. So now as an agent, I've noticed there was an increase in people from say 2003 to 2007, where you could spend money on the internet and you could get leads. I call them leads, a name, a number, an individual who said, yes, I'm interested. You could set an appointment, go get a listing. And then around 7, 8, 9, it started shifting to what I call inquiries, individuals that would say, I'm curious, but I'm not ready yet because of the market. Maybe it's a short sale, or they're just trying to find out the values. And Zillow was still not a household name to about 2010, 13, 14. 13, 14, it shifted from Zillow, in primarily, well, the elephant in the room, was the biggest one, where we would have consumers who now could check their value. So as a real estate agent, we did not have the luxury of saying, hey guys, here's free comps. But agents were putting out ads on Facebook that said, find out what your home is worth. So consumers would click that and they would fill out the lead. And it was almost like when we used to do mailers that said, find out what your home is worth. And people would call and say, I'm curious, which that hasn't happened in years. I mean, it still kind of does, but you got to be pretty darn consistent. So 2013, 14, 15, Zillow in 2016, 17, 18, Zillow has 186 million. Wrap this around your head. 186 million active users in their database.
Really?
That's social media. 186 million active users. How many homes sold in 2018, 19? 5.2, 5 or 6 million, right?
Yeah.
So
which is about every year we sell 6 million.
Who in the hell are these 179 million people? They are the very same people that real estate agents are signing up to get. Tire kickers, curiosity seekers. I've got a large database of individuals who check the weather, who check their stocks, they check their bank, they check the news, they check Zillow, they check their horoscope, and then they go to work. They check it and they use it as a bank account and as a basis for their net worth. And as real estate agents, our ability to connect to the direct consumer has been eliminated by several factors now. Reluctancy to communicate with us on an open line because they don't know who we are. And anytime we call them on the phone, two things come in your head. Who the hell is this? And why are they calling me? What do they want?
That's exactly what I got today.
Who the hell are you? And what the hell do you want?
Exactly what I got today. I called somebody today who was on my website yesterday. Called her yesterday. She didn't answer. Called her again this morning. She didn't answer this morning. She called me back this afternoon. Like, who are you? Like, I'm David.
The Facebook user just posted here, and this is the first time hearing this, and I'm open to hearing this. He's saying that the real estate agents in Indiana are exempt from the do not call list.
What she's saying, and I think what she hasn't answered the question yet, but I think what she's saying, we're allowed, if I mail you something, I'm allowed to call you about that mailer.
Which is, so if you mail me something, but I don't give you implied permission, You can still call me
about that mailer. Hey,
About
did you
that
get the
mailer.
mailer that I sent you?
So if you go out and you drop off a pile of crap on my doorstep, you're allowed to call me.
Yes.
So if you say so, if you say so, go for it. Um,
True fact. She said true fact.
I will look
No,
into
no,
this.
not true. Not true. Not saying not true.
Not true or yes true.
Not saying not true. So I always just call from the work number.
All right. So let's assume this one thing. Something happened in the telemarketing world that is bigger news. No one's talking about this. I might be the only one really talking about this. But you have to do your effing homework on. This is so critical.
Have you what?
You have to do your homework on this one. In June and July of 2019, there was a summit between the FCC regarding the TCPAA, the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, and the major networks. Okay. This act is called Shake and Stir. Write this down. This is bigger news than the do not call list. And when I tell you what's happened, you a light bulb is going to go off and you're going to, what? Yeah, this is true. A bigger event, a bigger impact. What I think is the nail on the coffin for telemarketing, and I'm going right here, right now, and in my book, I'm saying the telemarketing industry in the United States will be on its knees within 2 years because of what happened in June or July of 2019. Up until June of 2019, or July, I think it was July. It's June. The AT&T, T-Mobile, keep showing that fan. AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint, Verizon. The FCC did not give them permission to manipulate or play with their data. It was kind of like this weird protection where they weren't allowed to run their own do not call list or mess with that data. They were allowed to register numbers and play with that, but they were not allowed to automatically allow the consumer to be protected under their rules. It had to be under the FCC rules. I'm giving you the like for dummies version because it's hard to wrap your head around. But what they did in July was gave the permission to the networks, T-Mobile, Sprint, Verizon, Alltel, everybody. So let me ask everybody in the group right now. Have you recently noticed that when you get a phone call on your phone, now it says suspected spam or caller ID possible or telemarketer possible?
I got that today, as a matter of fact.
You got that
Robocaller.
today. Robocaller. That's the first question. Second
Oh,
question. Did
yeah,
you
robocaller, yeah.
do you
You're
pay
freezing
for
on
an
me.
app?
I pay for an app.
Nicole. Get off your nose. Did you pay for that? Did you subscribe to
Yes.
some service? So you subscribe to Robocaller?
I subscribe to an app through Verizon.
Okay, through Verizon. So it's built into your phone bill or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Up until a couple of years ago, you would have to pay for something called Nomo Robo, True Caller, Caller ID blocking. There's a couple of different apps that you had to pay in for. But now the networks are automatically, I don't pay for this service. The networks now have the ability through their algorithms to identify telephone numbers, caller IDs that are calling into their network and immediately flag it as suspected spam, which means Sprint, Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T can now flag my caller ID as a telemarketer within hours of being suspected spam. Where
Really?
on the do not call list, this wasn't possible. Let me get this straight. I am in full compliance with the do not call list. I don't mess around. Since 2003, I've downloaded the do not call list every month, and every 6 months, as required by the feds, the man, I have downloaded the entire list and scrubbed it because my livelihood depends on it. I've been doing it. So now enter the 5 actions, the 5 levels of marketing. There are only, and I hope I'm not talking too much, Mr. Woodson.
No, you're fine. It's all about you, brother.
This is some epic, like this is groundbreaking. The ability for your caller ID to be marked as spam within 100 calls says telemarketing is on life support. It's on hospice. Unless you're, and even people are just finger dialing. Let's say you go out and you say, I'm going to download the old expireds. I'm going to finger dial them. I print out a list from wherever and I finger dial it 100 times, 200 times in one day. The network goes boom. Depending on whether the AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, Sprint, whatever, it will register in some capacity and you will start eliminating. So I'm asking the group here, have you guys noticed this and you're not paying for it? It happened. It rolled out in July, and in 2019, they flipped the switch and said, let's do this thing. And so now, unknowingly, but truly, you are now seeing this in your universe without even knowing it. Like without even knowing it, you're on the I am on the do not call list for you, the consumer, without you having to register. Your phone is going to automatically say spam caller. All right.
That's scary.
Huh?
That's scary.
It is scary. So here's the solution. You want to telemarket, you're going to have to get a new caller ID. And in order for it to be legal, it has to be a caller ID with your phone, which is going to be very difficult. So yeah, solution, caller ID, your phone number is legal. You can get around the rules. There's hang up, comply with the do not call list. But now let's go back to another formula. In 1993, I have recordings of me telemarketing from 1993 to 2003. We had what I call a pickup rate. The pickup rate for an individual when it ring, hi, my name is Agent with Company, right? It was a pickup rate of 70%, meaning I dial 100 numbers, I speak to 70 people. In 2019, 18, that average, and I've talked to some of the big telemarketing companies who measure these metrics, 6%, meaning that for every 100 people you dial, after scrubbing your stuff with the do not call, 6 people will pick up the phone and you will have a, hi, my name is Agent with Company. Are you interested in selling your house conversation? We're not talking renters. You're not talking mom's home. You're not, the parrot's not answering the phone. We're talking like potential leads. So that means in order for you to make enough calls to generate the business, you'd have to make a lot more calls than you think.
A ton more calls.
A lot more calls. You ain't going to get a listing. I don't know where these numbers ever came from these gurus that suggest you have 20 conversations, you get a listing. You tell me where I can have 20 conversations and get a listing. I'm booking a one-way ticket to your town. Within 6 months, I'm going to own that town and I'm going to fly my family first class and pack and move and everything. And I'm living there forever. So go ahead, tell me wherever your town. And I've heard also 40 doors and you get a listing. You tell me where I can knock on 40 doors in your town. I will book a one-way ticket and I will not come back to California. I will move to that town and I'll send for my family in 6 months. And I will own that town because I'm not afraid to knock on the door.
So what do you do? What do you do when you knock on the door? Well, let's get on the brass tacks.
Right here, dynamic door knocking.
So I haven't ordered it yet. I was going to order it and I was going to get it on the.
You should have read it before you did, so that your head would be bigger with knowledge.
You gave me a week.
I know. Well, you can get it in like 2 or 3 days. Look.
I know, but I just.
Let me address the purpose of me writing this book at this time. There are 5, count them, only 5 methods for you to generate leads through direct marketing. We're talking direct marketing. We're not even talking direct marketing. We're talking almost indirect marketing. There are only 5 in existence, right? You ready?
Yeah.
Email, text messages, MMS, DM. Those are the only 3 ways for you to reach out to a consumer, but they are passive because they don't require a call to action. So if I mail someone and I say, if your house is on fire, I can sell it now before it burns down. Call now for a free estimate at top dollar. I will do it for free and I'll give you $1,000 if you sell it. Whatever pitch you have, it's called call to action as a marketer. We're talking about the 5 levels of marketing. Whatever you say in a mailer probably won't get someone to call the phone now, but maybe it will. If you mail to a community every month for the next 2 or 3 years, you'll start popping. You might get lucky once or twice. So if some other communities do it, awesome sauce. That's awesome. Mail. But it's still passive. There's no call to action where you can say, call me now. You can write it, but they won't call you. Email. These are also in order of expense and effectiveness. So now, mail is the least effective. They throw it in the trash. Email, they've got to open it. And now with email tracking, with BombBomb video email, you can see that they've opened it. You can put a little more secret sauce on it to get it to be a little more responsive. But at the end of the day, they can still hit delete and say goodbye. And all you can do is say, whoops, I got it.
But at least with BombBomb, you can tell that if they've opened it or not.
Exactly. And other softwares, you can see that it's open. So you can track it. But again, it's like saying, I sent it in the mail. I'm assuming they touched it to get to their trash can, but there's no, hey, man, call me. I'm the best, right?
Right.
Text messaging. Text messaging, in many gray areas, it's illegal to send someone a text. You can't just spam. And this is getting very hot right now because of telemarketing, which is the next one. Because people think that telemarketing is dead, you can just spam text. But spam texting is far more illegal than spam email. Spam texting is like you're like, so whether or not it's you check your local laws and practices, whatever, but sending a stranger a spam text is an immediate type STOP. And I know you guys say amen in the chat room if you say, I have gotten a spam text in the last 60 days that says, hey, I'm selling you something. Press stop if you don't want to hear from me. Can I get an amen? I know Dave has. If you've gotten all the other things, I guarantee you've been spammed. Text.
Oh yeah. By another social media guru.
Yeah. Wait till the networks flip the switch on the text. That's gone. All right, because they're mass texting right now. But wait till that shake and stir, gets in there. They'll catch on real quick. That'll be gone. Like Craigslist ads came and went. So now we have the 3 passive methods and the 2 final frontiers of active methods for a true salesperson. Someone who's going to get their shoes on or their phone on and say, F this, I'm taking it to the next level. I'm going to go out and find something right now. I want business right now. The telephone and the doors are the 2 final ones. These other 3 are active. Thousands of ways to do it, thousands of dollars to pull it off successfully, thousands of hours waiting for them to come to you. Or you go out and the call to action on the phone is, oh, you picked up the phone. Guess what? I'm selling you something. You want it? No, thank you. Bye. Yes, you do want it. Here, I'm going to close. Have a nice day. Thank you for your whatever. Right? Final frontier. Telemarketing is on life support, my friends. It's on hospice. It's dying because of what this has done. The last and final frontier is door to door. Going door to door. Now, dynamic door knocking. I'm going to plug it again. Dynamic door knocking is not just going up to the door and vomiting on them. Most gurus will have you go up there with some sort of reason, right? Some sort of like people want to say, I want a reason. I want a purpose. I want something to give to an individual to like me. I want to bring value to the door. The only value you can bring to the door is get off their lawn. You're stealing time. You're stealing time from them, unless you are handing $1 bills that you lost a bet. And unless you are offering to pick up dog crap for free because you lost a bet, you can't come to my door with value. And even if you handed me $1, I'd tell you to go F yourself because I'd be like, something's up. This dollar has, arsenic. Something that's got the coronavirus on this dollar bill. Get off my lawn, right?
Right.
So the most value you can provide to an individual is to get off their lawn. That's the only thing. So therefore, if you're going to be a human postcard, if you're going to be a human pop-up ad, why not be a human pop-up ad that has a big X in the corner rather than a tiny little X that when you press it, it accidentally opens up the ad on your phone and now you're stuck watching it? Why would you go to the door and be one of those pop-up videos that says our video, you're watching something and all of a sudden commercial pops up and it says this, the video will end in 15, 14, 13, 11, 12. Like, God, I'm out. In 2015, Time Magazine put out an article that said that the consumer, the average person, has the attention span of a, finish the sentence because you've heard it.
Pack mule, a gnat.
Can someone else finish that comment? Because it's, no, the pack mule, a gnat. Everyone else can probably finish that sentence.
Of a 2-year-old child, probably at this point.
I'm watching the chat room too to finish that sentence. The average.
My chat room sucks.
All right.
There's too much of a delay.
All right. Attention span of a goldfish. That's what they refer to.
Oh, yeah.
In 2015, the average consumer had the attention span of a goldfish, which is roughly 8 seconds. In 2015. So this was a study between Time Magazine and Microsoft to try to understand the attention span of the modern consumer And the first studies were in 2000. In 2000, it was 12 seconds. In 2015, it was 8 seconds. What do you think it is in 2020?
Probably about 3 seconds, 2 seconds.
Let's just be generous and say 6. Let's just be generous and say 7. Let's say we haven't lost any attention span, even though there's like 10 more social medias and it's been very prolific with marketing and advertising. So, roundabout way, we're talking about door knocking. We have to go to the door and we have less than 8 seconds, according to 2015 standards, less than 6 seconds, according to what I believe it is, to capture their attention, establish rapport or not, and get what we want. So we have 3 objectives at the door. Do I have a lead? When will they sell? And because it's not today, because there's an incubation period, the odds of you walking up to a door and someone saying, hallelujah, I've been waiting for you forever. It's like the odds of you going to open a house and someone says, I got a bag of cash, let's do this thing. It's just not going to happen. It does happen. For me, it happens every 4,000 doors. So it is possible, but it's a unicorn. It's possible. Individual results may vary. Individual effort will verify. So for you, it could be 2,000. If one of you ding dongs in the chat room have it where it's every 100, send me a DM. I will join your team and I will go out and knock on 100 doors a day. I'll get a listing every day for the next 7 days, and I will get another listing and I will dominate by the end of the year. It just doesn't happen.
It doesn't.
But
it can't happen.
It's possible. It's possible. So 3 objectives. Do I have a lead? When will they sell? And how do I follow up until then? Communication, relationship, bonding, building trust, right? Building that relationship. Because many times when you go to the door, they're going to say, not right now, maybe later. So your objective is at the door within 6 seconds to achieve number 1 goal. Do I have a lead? So here's how it goes. I'm going to give the script right now. There are 2 ways of saying no. Anybody who watches my door knocking or my telemarketing will assume one thing. It is the worst effing script out there, and everybody's going to say no. And that's okay. It's like me being Thomas Edison and people saying, ain't nobody going to get no electricity out of that thing. You're an idiot. He's going to say, just chillax for a second. I got 999 more times. Just shut the hell up. I will get this light bulb right. And now that I know, Thomas Edison said, I did not find out the one way to invent the light bulb. I found out 999 ways how not to invent it. You ever heard that one? Kind of something like that? I'm assassinating. I know. I know that the odds of me getting somebody to say yes is off the table. So now I need to know, if everybody is going to say no, what are the subtle, distinct variables of no that mean maybe? And this is going to be some mind-blowing, like mind-altering stuff. I'm going to take a hit of wine. I'm going to blow some people's minds right now. Hopefully people are here in the room and hear it.
But there's the fault or those dorks.
It's all right. If I ask you this question, Dave, maybe I'll test it out on you. This will be the first time I test it.
Go for it.
I'm going to ask you this question 2 times. The first time I ask you this question, I want you to think in your head, F no, and then say no. And then the second time I ask you this question, I want you to think yes, but not right now, and say no. You understand?
Yeah.
You're going to tell me no twice, but the first time you're going to say F no in your head and say no. And then the second time I'm testing this the first time, but I have a feeling it'll work.
We'll find out.
I'm a lightweight, man. Let's get into it. Need that box of wine does a little more. So,
well, I'm going with the bottle.
Oh yeah. If I knew how much I drank instead of just hiding it behind a box, it'd be game over. All right, my friend. By the way, thank you for having me on the show. This is an important message, and I hope the couple of people here are, their brain will be bigger and they will not sleep right at night, and their pillow will be not soft enough. So here we go. First one, you think hell no. Second one, you think yes, not right now.
But say no.
Ready? I'm at your door. Yeah, you say no each time. Hi, my name is Agent with Company. I was just wondering if you had any interest in selling your house.
No.
All right. The second time, now you got to think, not right now, maybe later, but say no. Think it in your head. Truly believe it in your heart. You really are thinking of selling your house, but now's not a good time.
I want to sell.
Huh?
I want to sell.
Ready? I know you're psyching yourself out, right? All right. Hi, my name is Agent with Company. I was just wondering if you had any interest in selling your house.
No.
Have you been reading my book?
Not yet.
Hold on. This is amazing. I'm going to do this forever and ever. Do you hear what you said? You said no because you meant no. And you said no because you meant not right now. Now's not a good time.
Right.
I'm kind of blown away. I have a feeling like you didn't mean to do that. It's really weird that you actually, this worked. I'm going to sip here now. This is blowing my mind. But this is the whole premise of dynamic door knocking. It starts with going up to the door and hitting them before they know how to respond. So here's my theory. You know, when you go to the doctor and they hit you with that little triangle rock on the knee and your knee jerk response, right?
Yeah. My knee does not move, but yes.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it. I wrote it down. I looked it up and Googled it, put it in the book, but I forgot the name of it. It's called the knee jerk response. To a trained professional, medical MD doctor, they hit your knee and they see something. To an idiot like us, they hit our knee and we think, that's kind of cool. Do it again, right? It's knowing the response, the default knee-jerk response, so that we know as a doctor, everybody's going to say no, but that if we hit the knee and something not right, we can diagnose that because we know what we're looking for and other people won't. So if I go to a door and I hit them with a question and they're not ready to not jerk their knee, or they are going to jerk their knee and their knee jerk is going to say no, but I'm a trained professional that knows the difference between no and no. I give them one other question every time. And if they are interested, we are probably there right now. Do we have a lead? Yeah, we might now. Going with that no. So let's go back with that no, Dave. Let's go back with that no.
No.
Do you think maybe later down the road you'd reconsider, like summertime or next year?
Yeah, probably.
Game over. Step 2 is done. I have a lead. If you hear somebody say no and you ask them the specific words, man, I've done over 100,000 doors and I ask this every time and it's like taking candy from a baby. It's unfair FBI ninja tactics to do this shit. But once you know and understand, and the first couple of times you go out and do this, you're going to go out and be like, you're going to walk off a front lawn. And I want you, Dave, to start doing it. When you're going to walk off a front door and you're going to hear somebody go, no, and you're like, all right, thank you very much. Have a nice day. And you're going to walk off. And that's the problem with my script. People will say, give me your script. And I'll give my script freely, jamesfestini.com/scripts with an S. Yeah, my script. But if you don't know how to diagnose my script, if you don't know how to do it, all you're doing is hitting a knee and you don't know what to look for. But now that I've told you, look for this subtle variation, now you need to understand one strong probability. We are living in a swipe left era where not a good time, not right now. Every email is maybe later. Okay, I'll handle this, prioritizing. We're living in a world of 7 habits of highly effective people without even knowing it, right? You ever read that book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, where there's quadrants of priorities? And we exist now because we have so much consumer protection, not Consumer Protection Act, but as a consumer, we're defending the only commodity that we all have, which the freaking phones were supposed to give us, but they didn't, and that was time. So when you come up to my door and you take my time, I'm swiping left on you because now is not a good time. I'm not deleting it and saying block. I'm saying now is not a good time. So when you say no, I know now because I'm an MD ninja FBI lie to me kind of guy. Remember that show, Lie to Me?
Yeah.
That was a rat show, right? Where he'd see like a nose hair wiggle, be like, liar. Like, how do you see that? Like, because he does that stuff, right? And I'm teaching you this, and hopefully the people watching this are just like, is this real? This is okay. I encourage you to anybody, and you can't do this on a text. You can't do this on an email.
Michael White disagrees with you with the idea that you can leave with some of the responses sometimes in the future.
Disagree with the idea you have a lead when someone responds sometimes in the future. Yes. And let me elaborate on that. It's very true. let me jump ahead and say I agree, but I would also say that somebody telling me not right now would be far better than one of those 179 million users on Zillow. There's a hierarchy, and I've created a list, and I should have published it in this book, but it is different for another book. But there is a higher degree of quality of leads. The bottom being cold, nothing is there. And when I would rather have 1,000, I would rather have 100 of my maybe leads than 1,000 Zillow inquiries, because I know their address, I know their name, I know where they are, and they have it. So maybe it's not a no. Let me finish. This is going to be rad for you guys. I appreciate that you're saying, please chime up. I need to argue this debate, because this book is going to put me on stage and people are going to be like, hey, piss off, James. This ain't true. I'll be like, shut up. So I know, because I try this. I'm only here to make sure that when you go and you knock on a door, this is what I want. I want people to come up to me after reading this book and go, James, I had that floating experience where I didn't walk off the driveway, but I like floated, because you're like, damn, this actually happened. That was a unicorn faster. You know, it's not enough to just say, I got one and then go home. It's like more. It's like, you know, I never had heroin.
You knock on 100 more doors, because I know one of those 100 or more doors is going to give me a yes.
It's like they say with heroin addicts or cocaine users, I've never tried either, where they go, more. Like, I love this. I can want to live in this space. Give me more. And you're going to get it.
You're chasing that high.
You're going to chase that high. And the good thing about this versus drugs is it's possible, man. You'll never get that first high again as drug. You know, that's what I studied that. So anyhow, so we're talking about the subtle variation of no that means maybe. And yes, you will still generate a database of individuals who say maybe and never list. I have, over the last 4 years, I have been doing this since 93. I moved around a lot. That's been my biggest mistake, guys. If you're in the business the first time, you need to plant roots and never leave again. If you're selling real estate here where you are, don't look to move. It's just reinventing yourself in a geographical business is suicide. And I've done it 5 to 7 times realistically, from county to county and starting all over again. It's stupid. Stay where you are or leave that location and move today if you're going to do business. Don't try to sell real estate.
I think last time you pulled up Jefferson's. You moved on up.
I moved on up, and it's been a struggle ever since. But it's a bigger market. It's a bigger competition. But this works in both markets. It works in any market, because we're talking about consumers. So what you do is when they say, no, maybe not right now. No, not right now. You have to, under every circumstance, whether it's on the phone or at the doors, you have to say this. Do you think maybe later down the road you'd reconsider? What those specific words are saying, swipe left, because I understand it's not right now, but maybe later. And at that time, every individual is going to say either no with a reluctancy, or yeah, which leads you to the third objective. Do I have a lead? When will they sell? And now you know, when you think maybe later down the road you'd reconsider. So Dave, we're continuing the role play. Dave, so you think maybe later down the road you'd reconsider?
Sure.
All right. Do you have any idea what it's worth? Have you ever gotten an estimate online or whatever?
Well, I think I do, because the neighbor on the street sold his house 2 years ago. But no, I don't have an idea.
How much do they sell it for? Or do you go online? Now, although it looks like I'm stuttering and stumbling over my scripts, this is I know exactly what to say, but this is a very deliberate and intentional play on conversation that happens in a unique situation versus a very scripted situation. So when I use my script, it's possibly 3 variables of the same thing looking for one objective. And I'm setting you up for this objective. Number 3. Objective number 3, if not now, when, and how do I follow up with you? So I'm setting you up. So there could be like a 2.5 right here, which says, if not now, when? And you're saying maybe later in the summer, like down the road. What do you have any idea what it's worth? I'm leading you to this. No in mind, right? Maybe is a no. Maybe is not a no. Maybe is a maybe. No is a no. Just trust me on this. Choose. Someone said in the Facebook group, maybe it's a no. Maybe it's not a no. Maybe it's far from no. Hey, Woodson, is maybe a no?
Last time my chick said maybe to me, I married her.
Hey, if you're out on a date with a girl and she says, and you say, hey, baby, can I have a kiss? And she goes, maybe. Is that no?
No, that's not a no.
That's not a no. So let's get real. Maybe's a maybe. I'm going to take it easy, baby. If she says no, I'll be like, all right, have a glass of wine. And then later I'll be like, hey, baby, can I have a kiss? Maybe. Have another glass of wine, right? I'm not going to try to, go crazy on her, but you got to, these are quick. See, what you got to remember is that these are relationships that are happening at light speed. And all you've got to do is identify the subtle variation of no that means maybe just enough. And you have to stockpile these leads in a database and collect a database of enough maybes or reluctant no's to convert a small pile of them. You're familiar with the funnel strategy, right?
Correct.
This is the funnel strategy exemplified, rationalized, which means you get no's, they're not in the funnel, they're no's. But when you get and we're not talking about in sales, maybe is a no. I'm not following, man. Are you following this? I don't know who Facebook user is, but in sales, maybe is a no.
Michael White. In sales, maybe is a no. In sales, there's only a one yes. That is true, Michael. But maybe keeps the door open.
We're keeping it to following a vein of gold, right? Let's say you're digging gold and you find something. Is that the gold mine? I don't know. Is it something? Yes. So you follow it to the end only to find out that it is. Now, if you're selling solar or if you're selling pest control, very different.
It's like those kids' books, the adventure books. You go to page 321 for more until you get to the very end. Until you get to know, you kept going.
How many options do they give you in those adventure books?
Unlimited until you get to the end.
No, but let's say you get to a page and it says, do you want to jump the cliff or not? Right? They don't say, do you want to jump the cliff or do you want to walk backwards? That's no. Do you want to jump the cliff? Yes or no? It's still like a yes or no.
Right. There's no maybe.
There is no maybe. It is either a maybe yes or a definitely no. And okay, let me dispel this so that you understand. A yes does not mean yes. A maybe does not mean yes. But write this down, David, so you understand. And so maybe, I don't know how you do this. If you want to type it or someone can type this, because I need you to wrap your head around the Shakespearean poetry that I'm about to spit after my 2.5 bag of wine. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Someone type this in the group. A lead is an individual who can say no, but maybe they don't.
Might have some typos in there, but
a lead is an individual who can say no, but they don't. I think I said maybe, but they don't.
Yeah, you can tell my keyboard sucks.
It's all right. That's enough. A lead is an individual who can say no, but they don't.
One of us is drunk here.
What?
One of us is typing drunk here.
It's all right. So now, if you understand, I'm not saying this is a drop dead rollover listing agreement right now. What I'm saying in the hierarchy of lead generation and conversion and getting someone to the bottom of the funnel and signing a contract starts with a no and works its way to a maybe, and then funnels its way to a possibly, and then filters it out to a yes, and then you sign the contract. So at the top of the funnel, it's all nothing. What I'm suggesting in dynamic door knocking is that you have to have a large database. For example, I have a database of about 700 people, individuals who have said no. with a subtle variation of maybe. Now, I'm not saying they're all no. Some of them have turned out to be, yeah, maybe in the summer. And that summer turned into maybe in the fall, turned into maybe in the winter, maybe in the spring, maybe when my hemorrhoids give away, maybe when my daughter gets married, my daughter's getting a divorce. I mean, they're all going to be this way. But when you have an individual, the more leads. Now, let me tell you the very, very distinct difference with this between what most traditional marketers are doing. The 5 levels of marketing are saying, let's put it this way. Dave, I'll ask you this question. If an individual walks into an open house, are they a lead?
No.
I'm glad you said that, so you're not embarrassed. No, it is not a lead. It is an inquiry. When you ask a question such as, welcome to my open house, what brings you here? Thank you for joining my open house. Hi, this is it. Well, sign up. Here's a free cookie. Take some LSD. Whatever the hell your ploy is to bring them into your open house, you get them. And then after a little bit of conversation, you identify, do I have a lead? When will they transact? Because it is not today, how will I follow up? Lead, time, follow up. The 3 pillars of lead generation and follow up. Lead, time, follow up. I have a lead. Great. When can I close on them? Not today. Damn it. Follow up. Relationship build. Communicate. Provide value. Because they said not right now, but in 2 years. And if you're going to be in the business in 2 years, why not create a relationship and send them CMAs, provide them value. So let's go on back to the door. We get the individual and they go, no, not right now. Maybe later. Do you think maybe later down the road you reconsider? To which you say, maybe. All right, great. Do you have any idea what it's worth, Mr. Woodson? I don't know their name. I don't. By the way, I never say their name at the door. I don't give a crap. I'll get that from the tax roll. It's creepy. If you come to my door and you say, hi, Mr. Festini, I'm like, put on the cuffs.
You know my name.
Here's the handcuffs. Am I under arrest? Right? Is this a deposition? Which wife? Do I have a baby somewhere that's bringing me to court? You're like, what do you want?
I've been my cousin.
Yeah. That's the question everybody has is, who are you? What do you want? So why don't you go to the door and say, here's who I am and here's what I want. So when you go into the door, when I say, Mr. Woodson, hi, I don't say Mr. Woodson. I say, I can't wait. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Facebook user. Dynamic door knocking. This is, we haven't even gotten to Columbo. We haven't gotten to the thumbtack. There's so much this is.
Yeah, because this is a half-hour show. We've been on for 45 minutes already.
I'm sorry. You want to hang up on me now, Dave? Does everyone want me to leave? We'll make it a two-parter.
I'll go 10 more. I'll go 10 more minutes with you.
All right, so let's go to the door. I'm at the door. You say, no, not right now. I say, you think maybe later down the road? You say, yes, maybe later. I say, okay, great. Do you have any idea what it's worth? You go, what do you say? Do you have any idea what it's worth?
Do you have any idea what it's worth?
Yeah. Do you have any idea what your house is worth? This is in the book. I wrote a book on door knocking of exactly what happens. But as I say, do you have any idea what it's worth? And I'm looking around. What do you say, Dave?
I don't know. I got an idea that's maybe worth $230.
$230? All right. What is that, like Zillow or True? Where do you get that idea?
Just guessing off the top of my head.
All right. What do you think?
I'm a realtor.
Well, you can't be a realtor. You're a realtor? Fix off. You got to be a consumer. This doesn't work if you're a realtor because it's like, are you going to be a buy owner or are you going to let me?
My neighbor sold his house last year for $235, and my house just is nice. His house is nicer than mine, believe it or not.
Oh, interesting. So $230. Okay, let's be honest, man. We got the honesty is on the knee-jerk reaction. So now here's the thing too, is once I get you say, no, not right now, you didn't totally swipe left on me. You imagine a brick wall is being built. And as you walk up to the door and knock on the door, there's no other way to describe this. But imagine as you knock on the door and the homeowner opens up, they're building think Mario Brothers. I guess that's the only analogy I can use. That someone builds a brick wall and each brick layer is 6 inches high, or no, 1 foot high, right? So these bricks are 12 inches wide. And so I knock on the door and you start laying bricks 12 inches per second. And I've got 6 seconds before that brick wall is, I don't even see you anymore and I'm out. Does that make sense?
Right, but they slam the door on you.
Right. You got less than 6 seconds before they build that wall and tell you to F yourself. So what you're doing is as you're walking up to the door, if somebody says no, not right now, 6-foot wall built, you shout over the fence, thank you very much, have a nice day, and you walk away. But when somebody goes, no, not right now, they're slapping up the brick and they got one more brick. We're like, no, not right now. To which you go, and this is body language. This is NLP and dynamic door knocking. This is a lot of other psychological body language and tonality where you say, oh, and you twist your body back and go, you think maybe later down the road you'd reconsider? You stop them from breaking that hurry up. You stop them from building that wall and twist your body back and subtly suggest that you're leaving now. But I got one more question, which is called the Columbo close. You think maybe later down the road you reconsider? You remember Columbo?
I remember going, yeah, do you think maybe later you'd do something?
Exactly. Columbo would always know who was guilty, but he'd play stupid and gullible and naive. And then he would ask all these weird questions. And then as soon as someone was guilty, he'd be like, just one more question. Did you kill the guy? And the guy would run or like hit Columbo or something would happen because he was busted. What I'm doing is in my Columbo close, I'm stepping back for a second and say, hey, maybe you think maybe later down the road you reconsider. And I'm putting my hands up like defensive. There's body language at the door, which you can't do on the phone. You think maybe later down the road you reconsider? And they go, maybe. And so they stop putting up the brick, but because I've jerked myself back and saying I'm leaving now, they stop. And I say, you think maybe later down the road you reconsider? Well, my wife, my aunt, and they start pulling bricks down because now they know, and psychologically with my subliminal transmission of quanta, whether it's matter or non-matter, it's getting weird meta, but I'm suggesting to them, I'm leaving now. I am no longer going to spray a green bottle of liquid and clothes on you to buy my shit right now to clean your shoes if you've seen any of those door-to-door salesmen. And I'm not going to throw a Bible on your floor or dump any garbage on your floor to sell you my vacuum because that's what they're expecting. Every consumer who sees somebody go to their door is expecting somebody to just shove it down their throat until they slam the door. So what I'm doing is I am going to the door and I am going in there and saying, are you interested? No. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. And more often than not, people are looking at me going, that's it? I'm like, that's it. Unless you're thinking of selling your house. No. All right, well, thanks. Have a nice day. That's it. I'm going to the next door because every 100 doors that I knock, I will talk to 25 people. That is the math. It's in the book. And universally, 100 doors you knock. I don't care if it's 9 a.m. or 10 minutes before sunset, 25 doors will open. I've tried this. I've talked to other big door knockers out there. This is the math. 25 doors will open. If you speak to 25 people with my script, today you could get 1, 2, maybe 3. No, not right now. You think maybe later down the road? No, well, my aunt, my wife, my hemorrhoids, whatever they say. You say, well, here's the script. Giving you rapid fire. Dude, I wrote a book on this. I'm trying to squeeze a freaking book into your podcast, Dave.
You're fine. Let's give one away.
Yeah, I should give one away. Okay. Email me, james@jamesfestini.com. The first person who says, I really want the book and I have total faith in you. Not the guy who keeps denying it. He's out. Because you gotta understand, this is something else. This is something that will help you if you understand the modern consumer's behavior. Who do you want? Who are you and what do you want? You got less than 6 seconds to tell me. And I'm only going to give you just enough to just say, get the hell off my lawn, but maybe later. Now's not a good time. And if you say to me, no, not right now, maybe later, I'll say, hey, Dave, do you think 2:30? Hey, Dave, roll call. Would it be all right if I could send you out some comps, some information on the values? Maybe later we can talk. I mean, now's not a good time, but I could shoot you out some values on the property. What's a good email? I could email it to you. What's a good email?
Sure. It's email dwoodson@gmail.com.
9 out of 10 will say, okay. And I know the haters in here will be like, they'll never do it. Trust me. If you go up to a door with this device, which is a natural communication mechanism in modern technology, and you're holding this and you go, hey, would it be all right if I could send you out some information on the values of the house? And you do this like, don't hit me, please. Hey, man, I promise I'm not going to spam you. You do this like body language, like Columbo, where you're just like, I'm an idiot. But can I get a little bit of information before I go? You say, hey, you know what? Would it be all right if I could send you out some comparables on the values? I think your place might be worth a little bit more. I could email you. What's a good email? You're going to, let's say 9 out of 10. Let's say 5 out of 10 say, no, I'm not interested. Okay, no problem. So you're thinking like what? You going? Where are you guys going? Like Texas or whatever? Slam the door. Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day. You walk off the lawn and you mark in your notebook and you say, "Would not give info." Gone. Right. Still, to me, a much higher quality lead than a Zillow inquiry because I got that spider senses tingling. Something happened there, and I guarantee you, almost always, I can go back when a listing pops up in my neighborhood and I didn't get it. I can go back because I knock, 100, 200 doors a day. I can go back and God damn it. And I'll look at it. My notes will say, hesitated, no info. And I left. Or I'll go back in and I'll find their info and I can't find them. I get them on the phone and they're gone, right? But they hesitated. 8 out of 10 times, I know what's coming on the market before anyone else does because I knock enough doors. So I'm like a human postcard. I'm like a human billboard ad. So let's say you say, no, maybe that, okay, great. Let's send you out some information. Now here's where the value is. Do I have a lead? When will they sell? Follow up. You send them a CMA, you communicate with them, and at one point or another, someone will sell. Now, Michael White, I will sell 103 units by myself. If they say maybe, I'm working with them into a lead, and if not, then one of them relatives. Fantastic. I saw 130. Yeah, that's impressive, man. But maybe then why are you watching this, man? If you're not door knocking, 130 units a year, you don't have to door knock. Let me tell you one last thing. Prospecting, whether it be on the phone or door knocking, is a means to an end. It's when enough is enough, and you don't have enough, and you've had enough, and you know you're not doing enough. Where you're thinking, you know what, I got to do something. I'm not going to do enough. 130 units, you're cool, brother. You want to go out and get a few more? By all means. If you're selling 130 plus units in your community, which, that was the production I was doing in my previous territory, I knock on the door and they're like, hey, guys, James Festini's here. Let's get a selfie. You're fucking celebrity.
That was Valerie that said that.
There's value. Right. But if you're not like a local celebrity, I don't want you to get, when I talk about the hierarchy of leads, the pyramid of leads, the bottom rung being cold call and cold doors, complete strangers, you don't know where you are. That's where we all have to start out, unless we've got some sort of nest egg or some sort of fucking trust fund that we can pump money into where we say, I've got a year's worth of money and I can pump it in there. By all means, bleed for the Zillow machine. Give your kidney to Trulia and give your firstborn to Realtor.com. Go for it. But if you still have to door knock, you have no business. I wish it didn't say Facebook. Hey man, you gotta get the Zoom. Why don't you do this live on Facebook? You do Facebook Live, man.
I can't Facebook. I can't have guests on it. Only do Be Live or Zoom. I'll get Zoom next time you do the show. I'll have Zoom.
I hope you bring me back on, dude. So anyhow, there's a lot. I'm getting better and better at describing the massive psychology play that we didn't even talk about, like a thumbtack and like people lying to you and you being able to read into it. This is what I called it, dynamic door knocking. I should have called it NLP door knocking, or like psychological ninja bullshit, CSI, like lie to me door knocking, because there's a lot more to it. To this is just one avenue. I'm not saying this is the end of it. This is for the people who want to go out and get some. This is for the real estate agents who don't have money to spend on Zillow, who don't have money to spend on mailers, who don't have a past client sphere. It's the ultimate pinnacle of any real estate agent, is to establish yourself as the most recognized brand in the industry and get the very top of the pyramid, the peak of the pyramid of the funnel strategy, the very bottom. The ultimate goal in real estate is to get what's called a come list me, where you're so recognized in what I call a sphere of recognition, not a sphere of influence. Sphere of influence might make a couple bucks, but the top agents, they get business, the majority of their business. They don't say, they call it, I get the majority of my business of sphere of influence, or my past clients or sphere. And that's not true. It's called a sphere of recognition, where everybody sees their name, whether they hate them or not, or they know them or not, but they see they do this thing where they're like, I see your name everywhere. Or my friend said something. You can never find out who was that friend, but it's what I call a sphere of recognition. And when you get people who call you, which it takes a couple of years to get there, you don't get there overnight. You get there by door knocking now in 2020. You get there in 2013 by Facebook ads, Craigslist, but ultimately what you need to do is have signs in the area, mailers in the mail, targeting the individuals who might be interested in selling. Get a sign in the area, do the open house, knock on the doors, invite them to the open house, but not necessarily. It's still using my script, the whole thing in the book. But you're still creating this synergy where you expand yourself to be the most recognized brand in the business. Real estate is an effing popularity contest. Okay. And the more people who know you, the more business you're going to get. The ultimate goal in real estate is to be the most recognized brand in your community. And I'm only talking to the people who are at the bottom or are just not getting enough right now. Go out and get some. If you think you're working, my job 9 to 5, right? I work 9 to 8. But if you're working 9 to 5 and at 5 p.m. you're clocking out thinking, and you're stressing, you're looking at bills, then why not at 5 p.m. or why not at 9 a.m. go knock on the doors for 3 hours, lead generate, and work from 10, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, work till 8 p.m. I've been doing this almost 30 years, my friend. There will be times where you can chill out and relax. But if you're in a market right now where you list something and it's money in the bank, you need to be knocking 100 doors a day and talking to people, because there's no ad spend that you're going to be able to exhaust to generate 1 to 3 bona fide listing leads, not inquiries, leads in a marketplace where you generate 100 leads and one of them will sell. That's okay, man. Because I'm getting exercise, I'm going out door knocking, I'm getting myself in the community, I'm farming, by the way. This is all farming too. I'm not in the book. I'm not just walking up to a door and walking away. I'm leaving propaganda. Every door gets something. I don't go up to the door and say, here, take my crap. They'll throw it away. I'm going to the door, leaving my crap, hiding it, and going up to the door and say, hi, my name's Agent with Company. Anything to sell in your house? No, thank you very much. But walking away, and my propaganda still on the door. Most agents will go out there with 100 pieces of propaganda and go home with 99 because they think they need to hand it to someone. Right. I'm farming, right? That crap pile in your garage does no good. Go knock on 100 doors tomorrow. Leave it somewhere where they won't see it. It's called a stealth drop. It's in the book. I got the Columbo clothes, the stealth drop, the thumbtack. I got so many like weird analogies that will suggest. I've got in this book, I've got like 40 or 50. What if a dog comes out? What if it's a little dog? What if it's a big dog? What if a kid answers the door? What if the kid's under 13? What if the kid's under 14? What if the kid's 2 years old in a diaper? And you're like, what do I do? What if they're pulling into the driveway? What if they're pulling out of the driveway? What if I walk up and they're, so many. I started this book thinking that it was going to be a chapter for another book. And the more I dove into this book, it became a book where I was like, there's just too much on the topic of door knocking that can help you real estate agents to generate leads. Like if you want leads, if you want David Woodson, if you want a guaranteed 10 leads by Friday, read my book, use my methods, knock on 100 doors every day. Well, the first day you're going to knock on 20 doors and your ass is going to hurt. Your feet are going to hurt. You find out wear the wrong underwear, wear the wrong socks. I didn't bring enough water. In the book, if you read the book, you'd be like, I got the right underwear. I got the right socks. How do I deal with a hot day? How do I deal with a cold day? What happens if I'm sweating? I mean, Jesus, there's so many things that I overthought in this. That I would give you everything. But you need to know when you knock on 100 doors a day, this isn't like a casual stroll. You're going out to walk 5 miles. If I told you, Dave, go walk 5 miles right now, you'd be like, what shoes do I wear? What underwear do I wear? I got to bring water, right? Door knocking is the final frontier when all these 3 methods cost too much, because they are 50 cents a stamp, email, whatever. You can try. I still use email because I get their email at the door. Hi, Dave. Can I email you some information? Great. I don't want to say the script, but I'll give it to you. One last final nugget. I'm reluctant, but Dave, you're going to get this. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I'm going to text you my information right now. What's a good number, Dave?
219-872-8000.
219-872. You got to get good. What's that again? I'm sorry.
872-8000.
I wasn't ready for this one, but I'm dropping a nugget because I'm drinking. Okay.
It's really nice phone number.
All right. Okay, sorry. One more time. 219
872
Uh-huh.
8000.
All right. Anyhow, so you guys are planning on moving to Texas, or are you thinking of moving to Tennessee, or what's your story there? Oh,
Florida.
right. Florida? Wow. I hear the bugs are big there, man.
Yeah, I've already got to come over there.
All right, you kind of got it. Did you get that text?
Not yet.
Let me make sure I got it there.
219-872-8000.
Let me make sure I got it. I'm sorry to bother you. I don't want to keep you any longer than I have to, but let me
No,
see.
you're fine.
Okay. Let me do this again. Again, I've been drinking now. 219-872.
8000.
Okay. To Florida. Wow. But so normally what you do is, as a consumer now, did you get it?
No.
This is backfiring. Oh, yeah, my
Yeah,
first
but I
backfire.
got it.
Okay. You got it. Okay. Hey, could you do me a favor? Tap on that text real quick, Mr. Seller. Yeah, what it is a virtual business card. Can you tap on that real quick?
Yep, I got it.
Okay. At the bottom, hit add to contacts.
Create new contact.
Yeah, create your contact. Cool. Dude, I get so many telemarketing calls, but I don't want you to miss out my information. So go ahead and take that, and that's my information. And
Cool.
maybe later we can talk. Thank you very much, though. You have a good day. And I'll walk off. What I just did to you was expose something that will be a SOP in the military. Before I was in the industry, I was in the Army. There's something called an SOP, a standard operating procedure, where like when they come in and check the barracks for your clothing, there's certain measurements and certain standards in your business. This will be called an SOP for real estate and all communications from now forward. And I'm teaching you and your tribe something that, God, I hate to even say it because this is big. Training the consumer to add you as a contact is a direct counteraction of that original conversation that I had about the TCPAA and the shake and stir that gets them on their call list. So the next time you go and say, hey, Mr. Sell, when you call them a week later or 3 days later and you say, hi, Mr. Sell, when you dial their number, you're in their database. It will not show up as potential spam. They're in your phone book.
Oh, kick ass.
So now what you have to do, God, Dave, I must love you for saying this shit because I don't want to share this with anyone. This is ninja. You go in and you guys have to say thank you. Do I ever try to, someone on the group, thank you, I got the thing. Do I ever try to schedule an appointment at the door? Yes, all the time. Like if I sense that if they say yeah in a month, great. We always have to assume now is not a good time. Just always assume now is not a good time. It's not a good time. They've probably taken a crap and you cut them half loaf. Just assume they were on top and now they had to jump off, put their pants on, and they got just whatever they were doing, they were not waiting for you. So just always assume. So if they say, well, you know what? Okay, today this podcast is going, we're speaking February 17th, 2020. They say, which is a unicorn. Remember, this is a unicorn. Like it happens. I find unicorns every 4,000 doors. Individual results may vary. Individual effort will verify. It's Festiniism. I got a few of them in the book. If you get to a door and they go, yeah, actually, we're thinking of selling in March. Wow, that's pretty soon. Here's a script. Oh my God, I'm giving you guys, now I'm the nuggets. Like 40 minutes later, I'm giving you the real bombs. The best script ever on planet Earth. If you use it, say James Festini gave it to you. Here it is. Ideally, when would you like to see a moving truck in your driveway? Now you see an individual, when they say we want to sell in July, that's in the ethos. That's quanta, matter and non-matter. That's just like out there. But if you really want to know when you can get a contract, you reverse engineer it from this specific question. Oh, I hope you guys really use this, please. Oh my God. Ideally, when would you like to see a moving truck in your driveway? A moving truck in their driveway conjures up images of Red Bull, pizza, questionable movers. They're moving too slow, swamp ass, sweaty, tape, boxes, nothing's ending. Like this is a very very specific feeling that you're going to conjure by asking, ideally, Dave, ideally, when do you want to see a moving truck in your driveway?
May.
May. So, well, the average days on the market is 90 days. So we're May, April, January,
Yeah,
March,
what's today,
March.
baby?
So, you know what? Yeah, it looks like if you want to see a moving truck in your driveway, the average days on market is like 60 days, and that's not including marketing and setup. You know what? It might not be a good time, but is there a time where I can come back? I very seldom get them right there. If ever, no, you never. I mean, you can walk with contracts in your pocket, but realistically, you need to prep them because what will happen is you want to get the schedule of the appointment right now. If they're motivated to sign a contract, I don't want to set an appointment if they're not going to sign a contract. But I'm willing to go out to an appointment if they're willing to have me sit. Because if you don't get in front of them, someone else will. They'll build that relationship. They'll be objective number 3, and they will communicate and provide value and blah, 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 blah. And they will get them because there's only 2 reasons why you ever win or lose a listing. It's money or relationship, aka love. If somebody out relationships you, they're going to go in there and say, you're the neighborhood expert, you're my friend, you're my family member, you're from church, I heard of you. That's called a bond or love, or outpriced, which means I'll get you more or I'll offer you less commission. If you're going in there offering less commission, then you might get the business. But if somebody has a bond, love, there's only 2 reasons why you ever lose a listing: love or money. If somebody loves somebody more than you will not buy that commission. If somebody says, I got a friend from church, you're not going to go in there, so I'll offer it for 2%. Very rare. You could. But if you say, hey, whatever, this agent's a schmuck, you're not going to be able to smack talk their love. But that's your mother.
Right.
You're not going to get it, right? There's a relationship there. It's stronger. What you need to do is establish that relationship so that when somebody else comes in, they'll be like, I've been talking to an agent for 2 or 3 weeks, and they come in and go, I'll give you 4%. I'll do it for free. You know what? I'll do it. I'll give you $1,000 at closing, and I'll squeeze your dog's anal glands. How about that? They'll be like, no, I love this guy. It's just the way that you've got to understand what the people want and what you can give them. Does this make sense, Dave?
Yeah, perfect sense.
I think I
That's
could.
one thing I won't do.
If you, someone said if they give you a date that they are moving, you should ask for a meeting ASAP. Yes, if they give you a date, it's pretty solidified. You should definitely. And if they don't get an appointment, it's absolutely imperative that you drop off what I call a slam package, a full property brochure. Again, in the book, all of these things. Yeah, there's a lot more to it when they get.
So where can we find your book? Amazon?
Amazon, yeah.
Just Google. Yeah. Does Amazon your name?
Dynamic Door Knocking. I've written 2 books, one on metaphysics, which I'm in 2nd edition, which I'm a deep thinker, but don't buy that one right now. It needs serious revisions. It was a mind dump that got published.
I don't even know what metaphysics even is.
Are you familiar with The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle?
Yes.
Okay. I wrote a book similar to The Power of Now without ever reading Power of Now, and published it. And then once it was published, the publisher says, what is this book about? I go, I don't know. And then in the journey of finding out what the book was about, it turned out that I had written a similar book, which is on Oprah's like bedside table, without even knowing what it was about. But it's about positive thinking, affirmations, and understanding human psychology and interacting and making the best of your life. Metaphysics is really just the unspoken, and you get yourself just bettering your life, using the power of your mind to live a full life, and not real estate. So most of these people be like, I ain't going there. It's just too much. But on the 2nd revision, it will be better. Dynamic Door Knocking on Amazon. Someone put the link right there.
Valerie Goggy did.
Yeah, back to basics, back to work, guys. When you've hit a wall and you say, I want more, this is the only way. If you don't have money, this is the only way. If you don't have time, this is the only way. Most of the people who come to my training or coaching, I do offer one-on-one. Most of the people who come to me is I'm like the Hail Mary. If this doesn't work, I'm out of the business. I'm like, no pressure here. But I'm telling you, fine. If you're coming to me to do one-on-one, here's my expectation. You need to do 100 doors a day, no negotiation. And if you can do 100 doors a day by noon and your feet aren't blistered and your ass isn't sweaty and you're not throwing up, I need you to do 100 more doors, because this is not a business where you're going to, I don't know where these people, maybe they watch $1 Million Listing and they think they just go out and drink a glass of wine and they get $1 million. It doesn't work that way, my friends. If you opened up a pizza joint right now, I guarantee you, even if you had $1 million, or not $1 million, Even if you opened up a pizza place, I guarantee you'd be ordering the pepperoni, the cheese, the pasta, and you'd be cleaning the vomit in the toilet and cleaning up the urinals, and you'd be going in the back meeting the guys, and you'd be sweeping the floors, and you'd be laying out the tables, and you'd be wiping the table. You would be doing it all your own. So why on earth would you think that this business of real estate, which is sky's the limit, pizza place, you're going to get capped off unless you buy more pizza places. This real estate business, you can make $500,000 a year, but if you think there's an easy button, F off. This is, and people ask me, should I get into real estate? I'm like, if you have to ask yourself, no. The answer is no. You never want to have to. Write this down, David. It's a Festiniism. You can type this in the thing. You never want to have to.
Oh, yeah.
But you have to want to. Meaning you never want to have to. Meaning that you never want your back up against the wall. If I don't sell a deal, I'm effed. I'm out. You never want to be there. But you have to want to. Meaning that you can't half-ass this thing. You can't say, meh, I'll knock a couple doors unless you got the money to do it. So you never want to have to, but you have to want to. I have to, and I want to. I don't want to as bad, but I always have to because I got 4 kids and I gotta, I want my lifestyle. So I have to. I don't have another choice. I don't have any other industry that I can go to. So I have to want to.
That's I'm unavoidable at this point.
When you hit a place in life where you're complacent versus satisfied, that's the killer. And I put in the book, you can never be satisfied or complacent. Well, really more complacency. I talk about that in the first book. You can be satisfied for the moment, but once you become complacent about your income or your business, you start discounting and you start disregarding leads, and you go out and you start door knocking, you get a couple leads, and you're like, I don't know, man, you start dismissing things. And then all of a sudden you get in this point where oh crap, I don't have what I need. And you get out there and you do it, and it sucks to have to, and it's hard to want to because it sucks, it's a lot of work. If you got money, if you got a lot of money, this book is a supplement. This book is one of the 5. You don't want to telemarket. You don't want to hire a team of telemarketers, which I wouldn't even touch that. Go spend money on marketing. But if you want to get known, you want to know the floor plans, you want to go door knock. But if any of you guys got enough money, go do something else. Do something else. You got enough money to sell real. Get the hell out of the business. There's enough competition. If you got enough money to supply yourself with it, go do something else, man. Follow your own dream. Open up a pizza shop. Do something else, man.
So how can someone reach out to you right now?
What's that?
How can anybody reach out to you? They want to use you for coaching or you already got the book out there.
Everything is at jamesfestini.com. Follow me on Instagram. I am a prolific Instagram storyteller. I have a vlog. But yeah, Instagram, James Festini. Wherever. You like Snapchat? I'm there. You like TikTok? Maybe I'm there. But jamesfestini.com. That's where everything is. You can pick up the book there. I guarantee you, if you read this book and you're interested in door knocking, it's a game changer. If you're not going to door knock, don't bother, man. But this is the final frontier. This is really I cannot emphasize just how critical it is that you just look at door knocking differently. Don't go in there thinking you're going to provide value. Don't go in there thinking you're going to get a lead every time. Go in there expecting 25 doors to open and one of them to be a maybe. Collect 100 maybes and one of those will list. That's all.
Appreciate it, James.
Old-fashioned, it says right there, old-fashioned hustle for a new world of small business. Back to basics, back to work. Learn to generate business today. Overcome the fear of door knocking on doors. I have a whole chapter on overcoming the fear because that's the biggest objection people have. What if this? What if that? We'll overcome that. There's nothing I haven't seen at the door that you're going to see that I haven't answered in that book to tell you, don't worry about it. You want to make money? Don't worry about it. It's just. So
last year I was door knocking, and the guy did not want to take my flyer. I stood there for a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Like this.
Well, you were doing it wrong.
And I made him open the door.
Yeah, you were doing it wrong. You had 8 seconds. You weren't capturing them. I guarantee you, next time you take that flyer and shove it in the garage door's crack or drop it at the doorway and just go up and ask them, "Are you thinking of selling your house?" and walk away, you'll get farther than if you say, "Here, take my shit." You'll be like,
doing open house. The open house the next day. I was inviting him to the open house.
Again, if I have an open house, even if the house is right next door, it's in the book. I keep going to the book. If I have an open house right next door and my sign is there, what will my script be? Knock, knock, knock. Hi, my name is Agent with Company. I was wondering if you had any interest in selling your house. No. All right. Well, thank you very much. Have a nice. Oh, by the way, I'm having an open house next door. If you want to come by, I'm not going in there inviting them. I've got less than 8 seconds, and my open house is not part of my. Where in my 3 objectives is inviting them to an open house when they're clearly not. They already have a house. Don't be an idiot.
That's worth the price of admission right there for me. Because I was doing it wrong. I was inviting him to the open house.
No. That's just you might as well take it. No, see, that's the thing is like you had less than 8 seconds, and that 8 seconds was inviting them to an event that they don't give a crap about. What you should have said, hi, my name is Agent with Company. I was wondering if you had any interest in selling your house. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. If they go, no, hey, you know what? Actually, I'm selling. And then once you get past that 8 seconds, hi, my name is Agent with Company. I was wondering if you had any interest in selling your house. Within 7 seconds, I've spit my words out. They know who the hell I am. What do you want? Who the hell are you? What do you want? Off the table. You thinking of selling your house? No. All right. Well, thank you very much. Have a nice day. As I'm twisting and walking away, if they haven't already slammed the door, if they have slammed the door, bye-bye. Not a lead. If they go, well, not right now. You know what? Now that I've gotten past that 8 seconds, you know what? I actually listed the house almost like an afterthought. Casual. Oh my God, what a dummy I am. You know, I'm selling the house next door. I'm having an open house tomorrow. Are you guys thinking of selling your house? And I'll go right back on track looking for number 2. Do you have any interest in it? Well, my wife, my hemorrhoids, whatever. Oh, you have any idea what it's worth? Well, well, if it's all right, I'd love to keep in touch. I could send you out some comps. You know, maybe later we can talk. What's a good email? Okay, great. So you guys are moving to Texas. Maybe later. Oh God, what's a good phone number? Okay, is this your cell phone? Fantastic. You know what? Real quick, I'm going to text you my cell phone number. So you're moving to Texas? Okay, great. We'll talk later. Come by my open house, and then you hear ping. Is that your phone? Did you just get that text? Oh yeah. Hold on. Take a quick second. I'm sorry. Well, go ahead. Boom. Add me to there. I get a ton of telemarketing calls. Maybe later we can talk. Bye. And then go next door. And then the next day they come to your open house. You remember them. Be like, hey guys, how's it going? Okay, great. And we're just nosy neighbor. Buy the book, man. This is 45,000 words of what I tried to dump into you guys for an hour. I need to get a stage. Man.
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half. Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry, Dave. You knew what you were in for.
You were not the longest show by far.
I'm sorry.
The longest show's been 2.5 hours.
I hope this helps people, and I hope it was value bombs. I hope that people really were enlightened to what door knocking should be and what it shouldn't be. It should not be walking up to a door and puking on someone's lawn and expecting someone to clean it up and say thank you. Doesn't work.
Do me one favor before you leave. Promise me it won't be a year before you're on again.
What's that?
Promise me it won't be a year before you're on again.
You make the call, brother. I'll be here whenever you want. Yeah, like you're VIP, my friend.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you call, even if I get the people are like, oh, Nat, you wrote a book, you're too big. I go, no. I got a good memory for the good ones. You're a good guy. I will.
Where do you live at these days? What city?
Huh?
What city do you live in?
Yorba Linda, California. About 30 minutes out from Disneyland.
I was in Anaheim last year. We should have hooked up.
Should have hooked up, man. Yeah,
I didn't know.
Would have had a glass of
I'll be back in. It's about an hour away from Anaheim next year. Closer to San Diego, though. I'll let you know when I'm down
there. Hey, who said best one I've seen so far? Thank you, man. Get a copy of the book. I just really got so much to say about it. You guys just enjoy it, man. Make it easy. Make it easy.
Valerie said that.
Valerie, thank you. Valerie Kubaki, right?
Yep.
Just find me, read the book, go out and get leads. I promise anyone, if they knock on 100 doors, I promise you, if you knock on 100 doors and you don't get 3 leads today, you'll get 3 tomorrow. It's like if you use this book, you will get leads. Not like you can't spend $1,000 on Zillow today and get what my book will give you this week. I don't give a crap what you think and say. Zillow is selling you Trulia, even Facebook ads. I was connected with the highest quality Facebook ad. I was spending $1,700 a month for the highest level of Facebook ad lead generation, A/B testing, putting out the ads. And I would get names and numbers of individuals who would say, I'm curious. I've got a list of 300 people who are tire kicking. You can go out on the internet right now And it is not a problem to generate those 179 million users. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the 6 million people who are going to transact this year. If you think that you have some sort of security blanket or satisfaction in purchasing inquiries, if that like makes you feel warm and fuzzy and think you're covered, go for it. I would recommend you triple your outcome, because some of them will convert, but a lot of them will be puking your money onto a database, which don't even get me political. You're paying the Trojan horse, and you're waxing their wheels to walk into your house, and just Zillow.
You're
Forget
correct
about
on
it,
that.
man. Zillow is the Trojan horse, man. Zillow, Trulia, iBuyers, Realtor.com, all those MFs. Trust me, they answer to one person, their stockholders, the people who were more than willing that if they could click a button, you'd be out of the business. And I tell you, this business within 10 years from now, less than 10 years from now, you'll be obsolete. Let me tell you something. If there was a real estate agent for every gas station in America, geographically, there would be enough agents to satisfy the consumer's demand, which means that you would be out of the business. If I use the gas station analogy, because one gas station per every couple of miles can service everybody in that region. So if one agent can service everybody in that region, we've got more gas stations than we need as a real estate community. 99%, if 99% of the real estate agents drop dead today, it would not stop that 1%, because that 1% would be the equivalent to gas stations. It's kind of a weird math I did, but if you look at the amount of real estate agents and then you look at the amount of gas stations, it's kind of a weird thing I did where I was trying to like visually, how can I perceive if 99% of the real estate agents drop dead today, what would that leave me with? And it would leave me with around the same number as gas stations in North America, which means that if all the realtors drop dead, and visually, if you could imagine, what if every agent died and every agent was a gas station? So now think of your community. Could like my city has 6 or 7 gas stations. Could they handle every transaction in your city and a couple areas beyond? Abso-freaking-lutely. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
So 99% of the real estate community is obsolete. They just don't know it. How can you be that? You need to be the most recognized brand in your industry, and you need to capture the attention of the consumer in an extremely fast swipe left society and become the most recognized brand in the community, so that you are that 1%. So maybe you're not Shell, maybe you're not Chevron, maybe you're crap gas, but every city has crap gas and people go there. So you have to be crap gas. At least I'm not out of business.
Right.
It's scary to think about if you're not willing to work. I'm not afraid, because I'm not afraid to knock. That's all. If you're afraid to knock, if you don't have money to spend, then get out now. Like if they say the average agent sells 2 houses a year. That's poverty.
That's bull poverty.
I couldn't live off 2 houses a year. I have to, and I want to. And if you're competing against me, it's like going up and competing against, the elite. And when it gets harder and harder, just like you said in the beginning of this conversation, it's getting harder and harder. You ain't seen nothing yet, brother. Go find the people. They're sitting behind their door. You just got to knock on the door, make a friendly face, smile. You got a good face. If you don't look like you were raised, like you were, sucking on a pickle your whole life, if you don't look like Willem Dafoe or Billy Bob Thornton, you're all right. But if you look threatening at the door, then in the book, I teach you how to look a little bit better. But as long as you get to the door and you're pleasant and you're not assuming and you don't have an expectation, you say, "Hi, my name is Agent."
Just don't wear a white shirt and tie.
Yeah, if you wear a white shirt and a black tie, you're Mormon. They don't want that. White shirt and any other tie. There's a dress code in the book. But again, man, I'm only here because who knows where I'm going to be in a couple of years? Who knows where this book will be? I just know that my competition is not going to do this, so I'm not afraid of publishing it. My great joy and satisfaction is on seeing people like Valerie or Michael saying, "You know what? Wow, this just happened, and I didn't know this, and now I know." And wow, like this, if you see the reviews on Amazon, if you buy the book, please review on Amazon. Please review on Amazon.
When I read the book, I'll give you a video review.
Yeah, you got to have a review. A video review is even better. I haven't got one yet, so be the first. But when you read the reviews, they're almost heartwarming. Like people are saying, holy crap, I've been doing it wrong. And now I'm getting listings. I've only been out a week, but people are like picking up the book, getting it, hammering it out in a day. And then the next day going to the door and getting listings because other areas, I'm in Southern California, Orange County, which is highly competitive, but I have a feeling that the stuff that's in my book will crush other areas, less competitive or where no one's door knocking or there's a higher turnover. The dude selling 130 houses a year. Holy crap. Could you imagine if he had the power of my book? Game over. Like he'd have an unfair advantage because everyone would know him. He would know every lead. He'd just kill it. Just no, it would just be unfair. Being able to do what I teach in this book is unfair. And yet if you're doing a good thing, it's not illegal and you're doing the right thing, you'll get business, man. Just get business. I want you to survive. I want the people who are the final 2% or 1% who are left to say, you know what? Because of Festini. That would be my satisfaction. I follow Festini. Festini's the one who taught me. Because back in the 90s, they'd be like, who do you listen to? Ferry or Wickman? Not Tom Ferry. They'd be like, who do you listen to? Floyd Wickman or Tom Ferry? Well, in the 2020s or whatever, I want them to be like, who do you listen to? This guy or Festini? And people go, Festini. They're like, ooh, you must be. Because they're like, that dude don't mess around. Like it's like saying, well, you're in the Army? What do you do? I'm a cook. Oh, whatever. You're in the Army? Yeah, I'm a Green Beret. Holy shit. I want people to know that if you want it this bad, it's going to suck, but it's going to not be so bad. You want it, go get it. It's possible. I encourage you.
By the way, I had a Green Beret punch me one time. I thought I was going to die.
What's that?
I had a Green Beret punch me one time. I thought I was going to die.
Yeah. I'm telling you, this is not for the weak-hearted, but soon real estate will not be for the weak-hearted.
Valerie just bought 5, she said.
Oh my God, really?
That's my broker.
Oh yeah, Valerie, where are you at, Woodson?
Northwest Indiana, Valparaiso.
Very soon I should have a stage, and I think people should agree that what I'm teaching here has not been spoken, and it's the truth, and the truth needs to be spoken, and it's time for someone to shed the light on the reality of what true work is. So thank you, Valerie. I think I converted someone. I had that come to Festini meeting where they're like, you know what?
Come to Festini meeting.
I'm sure she's gonna give one to Dave right now and be like, Dave, come in the office, man. We got something for you. And he's gonna go see and be like, oh crap. So yeah, please get your copy. The Audible, I'm waiting for the Audible still. Audible, I have a feeling. That's tough, man, to do the audio. That was a lot of work.
I'm sure. Well, James, I appreciate you being on.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you.
Still not the longest episode.
I think I provided enough value to justify it. We weren't talking turkey here.
So thank you. You did a very good job. I appreciate it. You're always welcome back here anytime you want to be on here.
Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. Oh, and I have a podcast too. Just wherever, man. Just consume me, man. I create content, but yeah, find me, man.
JamesFestini.com.
All right.
Appreciate it, brother.
One more comment. I started in real estate in 2009. Worst time ever, and I believe in basics. It's in the book. Have a good day, man.
Thanks, man. Talk to you soon.
See ya.
Any questions, guys? Give me a call at 219-872-8000. If not, find me on Google. Find me here. Run me up. Just ask me any questions you got. See you next week at the same Dave time, same Dave channel. Don't know what we're gonna do next week. We'll figure it out by Wednesday. Talk to you guys soon. Bye later. Bye.